Hello and welcome back to Astro Colony. We are currently working on getting gas onto the base. We currently have these 6 asteroids attached to our base that are kind of floating around space with us so that we can get the materials we need off of them. Take a quick look at the tech tree here. Last episode we unlocked the gas extraction. We're going to work towards getting gas on the base today. Gas on the base is going to require this dock right here, the expert docking, which requires these Mercury rods to be made, which requires gas. So we need gas on the base, but we can't get gas on the base because we don't have these Mercury rods. So we're going to have to put a small smelting operation up for these Mercury rods, which is right here in the tech tree. We're going to put that up on a planet somewhere so that we can get a couple started, so we can get gas onto the base so that we can set up a more permanent solution. So let's go ahead and unlock the expert smelting, see if we have enough for it, which we do. And then we can fly down to, we're going to just fly down to this base right here, which is where I think we're going to put the gas on the base. So gas comes from these rigs right here. They require a significant amount of power. Most of the other stuff only requires 5 to 10 power. This requires 80. So we're going to have to beef up our power supply a little bit. I think it's about time we switch to the nuclear rods here. This thing here, nuclear reactor takes 1 uranium rod and makes 100 power. So I think what we're going to do is copy this and start a lineup over here of them. Like that, and then we'll run a belt from here. So we're going to basically take the nuclear rods that are being made right here in this line right here. So we're going to take a conveyor belt out of here, go underneath this platform over to there and back up, and then we'll set up a whole bunch of nuclear powers over there. Right, so I've got that belt run. We're going to just grab a belt here. We have a filter selecting just the uranium rods coming off of here. It's going to let those down here. It's going to go down underneath the floor here. It just gets turned down here, comes down this way, comes over here, and into these 5 here. These 5 are just have timers on them. This pushes 1 every 40 seconds. You can see at the bottom right here. And this uses 1 rod every 40 seconds. So we have 5 of them, so that'll give us 500 power. We're going to have to make sure that we have uranium rods at all points now so that we don't run out of power. We currently have 30,000 uranium ore. Now these use 1 every 40 seconds with 5 of them, so it's 1 every 8 seconds. And over here we have our uranium rod makers. We've got to make sure these can keep up. These make 1 every 16, so we have 2 of them, so that's 1 every 8. So we are producing them as fast as we use them. So we're going to want to add a 3rd one of these probably. So I'm going to clean this operation up a little bit, add a 3rd one of these smelters just so that we have a little extra to work with. So this only needs 1 material going into the smelter, so we're going to delete my current logic setup and just simplify it with the timers. Delete that. Now we can get rid of these guys, which means we should have a little bit more room to put some extra smelters in here. Delete that, delete that, delete that. Probably move this down 1. Let's wait till it finishes processing, and then we'll move it down 1. Delete those, delete that, delete that. Delete that so we can get the power back on. We're going to need to move this. That in there, and we'll just put a timer on there. So logic blocks, timer, and set it to 16 seconds. Right, there's 3 of them set up. That should be good for now. If we check our power, we should have a whole bunch of extra power now. We're using 1,000 of 1,600, so we have almost 600 power free, so that's good. So let's head back down here. We're going to hook up this oil rig to power from the base. And we're going to put down I guess we'll just start putting some stuff down and see how it looks. Let's put down let's see, what do we need? We need an advanced smelter. This guy here, expert smelter. Put that down, see what it needs. Looks like it has an input there, input for gas. And this requires 4 mercury and 10 gas. Move this over here just for temporary basis. This is all temporary just to get our correct docking system up and running so that we can move this all to the base and make it look pretty. Let's grab power from here. I got wire hooked up. I just need to turn on the power. Let's just max it out at 100 right now. That's all the basic one can transmit. Not quite enough to operate these, but it'll be enough to operate them at close to full efficiency. Then we need a gas pipe here. You can see it's already pumping gas. But just to make sure, like I cannot take gas from here, right? There's no way to put it in my backpack. Grab I think it's under utilities, we can grab a gas pipe. We'll put tanks and stuff on the base, but right now we're just going to pump it right into the thing. That should get gas flowing, I believe. And we'll put some, let's put in the gas does not appear to be flowing. Maybe we need a gas tank in between them. It doesn't appear to be working. If you click on it, we can hover over here and it says there's 0 consumption, 0 stored. Click on this guy over here. It's definitely going through the resource here, but it's not storing anything. It says 0, so maybe we have to have a tank on the line. Let's try it and see. Delete that. Let's put a tank in. See if that does anything. Still staying stored 0. This looks like it's working now though. It is, yes. We need a tank on the line to make sure it works. So it produces some Mercury rods which we can use to upgrade our docking station to transfer gas, and we'll get our permanent setup probably up top here. Probably use this space right here, put some Mercury smelters right here, and put Mercury rods down into this warehouse space right here. That should be enough Mercury rods to get the docking system up and running. Got 28 of them. See if we can upgrade this if I just hit U. That does work. Hit U again. Nice, so that does work. You don't even have to take them off, you can just hit U and it upgrades them. We're going to have to upgrade both sides. And that should put a gas connection right there. That's nice. So now we have gas coming into the base. So now we can take a pipe over to here. I don't know if we need the tank on the system or not. We're going to start without the tank on the system. But this eats, let's see. This needs 10 gas every 14 seconds. This makes 10 gas every 20 seconds. So we're going to need at least 2 or 3 of these piping gas in to get one of these operational. Alright, we got 2 of them hooked up over here. I just ran the pipe down here, over to here. Then it goes up from here, over up here, into a tank right here. Then we'll use it from here. But this is not filling. So it definitely looks like we need a tank on this side. And you also have to set this dock to transfer gas. So each side is different. So if I click on this side over here, the side that the base is on, we can send gas this direction, but we don't want to do that. We actually want to send it the other direction. So we got to click on this side of the base. I'm sending 4 gas every 4 seconds. Let's just up this to 10. I'm probably not producing that much fast, but we're going to send all gas to the base. The other thing is it's still not working, so we need to add a tank over here. I'm going to delete that one and just put it over here. See if that's transferring now. Not very efficient, doesn't have enough power. We could transfer more power, I think. Now we have the extra advanced, or the, this is the expert docking station. We can transfer more power than 100. So let's transfer 200. %75% efficient, so still not enough power. We need 265 power to get this going. I'll send it. 265. There we go, we have gas being stored up here now. Now that we have gas up here, we can put in the advanced smelter up here, or I guess the expert smelter, and we will get the mercury rods being produced up here. Probably put it something like this. Okay, so we can set this one up to, let's see, this, we want this one to check for these rods. If it's less than 1,000, we're gonna, less than 1,000 in here. We're going to send that signal on. So this signal controls this pusher. This one checks the warehouse down here. And if it's less than 1,000, it sends the mercury down the way. So let's copy this belt, put it underneath there, and let's throw some mercury in there. Alright, we actually have two deciders here. We need an inventory status one instead of a... We want this one down here. Copy that. Let's edit it to be mercury rods. And let's set it to hook up to this one. So that's working now. It's sending the mercury through. Gotta hook up the gas here. This has 500 in it. And it basically just goes over the belt here and hooks into each expert smelter. And it should be making bars, which it is. Alright, while that's doing its thing, I think we can check the tech tree. We can do Cobalt. We have enough science to unlock that. Since we have some asteroids with Cobalt on them, we might as well harvest it. This one has a whole bunch of Cobalt right here. So we're just going to take down our existing miner setup and move it over. It needs the advanced ones anyway. Okay, we also want to get Cobalt operating. That requires 20 gas instead of 10, so we're going to need a whole bunch more gas, which means these things use 80 power, so we're going to need a whole bunch more power. So I'm going to revise our power setup a little bit. Basically, 4 of these smelters making uranium rods can supply 10 of these nuclear reactors. So we're going to do a little setup over here for 4 smelters to 10 nuclear reactors, so that way we can just know that we have enough to supply them. Okay, so this is ore coming out down here. It's going to come down here and feed these smelters here. These are making uranium rods. They have timers on the back pushing one in every 16 seconds. And this puts out the uranium rods, and these come down to our nuclear reactor row here, which has 10 of them, and these push in one every 40 seconds. So this is just enough to supply all this, so that'll be good there. And then if we need more power, we can just add another row. So that gives us enough power to make some Cobalt now. Come over here. We're going to just do a line similar to this. We're going to grab this one. Rotate it around. I think we're going to do something like this. Actually, what we'll do is we'll line up the gas pipes. So do something like that. We'll grab this gas pipe here, grab it over and down. We'll set this to do Cobalt. It's already set to do Cobalt. We'll just grab a separate line of Cobalt out of this thing, come down here and over here, and this will feed into here. We're going to have to get some more gas down too, because that's going to require a lot more gas. But now that we have the power to do it, we can up the power over here. This is going to be like 500 now. Okay, so we just got to put a belt down here to start this off. We have a little bit of Cobalt in there already. I'll bring Cobalt in here. We are short on gas right now though. This will make Cobalt. We need to put some logic on this to slow it down, but I will come back and do that in a second. Right now we're going to go put some gas ones down, some oil rigs. This one here. I think we got one over here. And do we have another one back here? Yeah, we have one right there. Some tomatoes. Now we'll take these. Now we just got to run some pipes and get these hooked up to power. Alright, that's all hooked up now. We have gas coming into the base making cobalt. It should be just about enough, I don't know. Looks like we're losing gas just slowly, but it should be good for now. We can always expand it if we need to. So that's cobalt being made super slowly. And we can check the tech tree now. We can, working towards the Stargate over here, let's just start picking off some of that stuff. We have enriched hydrogen. We're going to need the robots upgrader. See if we have enough to do all this. Expert construction, advanced energy transmitter, and the Stargate. So we had just enough research to do all of that. We'll come back and do some of this other stuff. We need 600 biology for that. We're a little short on biology, and we have just enough space. We could probably do this one. This one we really want to do. We're going to work on that. It's 8,000 of these, so we're going to have to really gear up our iron and copper production to get that done. So that'll get us up to the next Stargate. So beginning of the next episode, we will find the next Stargate and probably travel through it. So that's going to do it for this one. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.